Ability Center's Strength and Balance.
Hi everyone, it's Sam. Welcome to your lower body strength and balance workout. The lovely Jill is joining me and she's going to be doing the seated exercises. You do not need anything today. So we're doing this workout without weights, without equipment. Of course, if you want to make it a little more intense, you can add some weights as well. Make sure your space is clear, get some water so you can take breaks as you need to. You're going to go at your own pace and your own level where we are going to get that lower body working. So first thing we're going to start with is we're actually going to start with some balance. That may sound a little strange starting it in the beginning, but balance actually improves overall strength and gets your body ready for more advanced exercises. So we're going to do this to start off. So first thing is some leg circles. If you need to from standing, you can use wall, chair for support, or a countertop, but we're going to do some basic leg circles. So I'm going to have my hands on my hips. Jill can have her hands resting on her chair, but we're going to extend that left leg forward and we're going to have the toes pointed and doing some circles to the outside. So small circles. Jill has her leg lifted, so that means she's sitting a little bit more forward in her chair, but small circles, just going away from the body. Little bit of a bend in that knee. Whoop. You need to lose your balance, you can just touch that toe down. Last one. Good work. Let's switch to the other side. Extend that leg, point those toes, small circles going away from the body. Focus forward and stay tall here. Got it. Woo! Exactly why you need a wall or a chair, because if you're going to fall over. So we've done the circles, but guess what? We only did one direction. Let's switch and go the other way. So again, extend that left foot forward and we are going to do circles going towards the body. So small circles. Let's see if I can stay upright this time. Keep those toes pointed, nice and tall. Whoo! Good job. Feel those legs working. Other side, right leg extended, point the toes, small circles going in. This is my hard side, right? So you're going to feel where your balance is really challenged, one side or the other. 3, 2, and 1. Whew, feeling those quads working already, right? So now, some more single leg. We're going to do some single leg flexion. So you're just going to simply, again, hands on the hips or resting on your chair if you're seated. I want you to extend your left foot forward, and this time we're going to have our toes flexed or pointed to the ceiling. If you're standing, you're going to have a good bend in that standing leg, but I want you to just simply hold that leg up. Stay tall, and again, use support if you need to. We're not timing this. We're just practicing, just standing on that one leg, trying to stay nice and tall, shoulders down away from the ears. Bring that foot back down and let's alternate to the other side. Extend that right leg out, toes pointed to the ceiling. Jill is up nice and tall in her seat. Focus forward here. A little balance work before we get started. Whoo, good job, feet back together. Final balance move, we're going to do a single leg extension. So what that looks like, and I'm going to give you a side view, is I'm extending back from my hip. My foot is flexed, and again, my hands can be on my hips, resting in front of my chest, or if you're seated, they'll be on your chair. But Jill is going to step back and have her toe just touching underneath her chair. She can lift her toe up too for a little bit more intensity, right? But she's sitting up nice and tall and she can use her arms extending from her side as well. All right, let's do this. So left leg, extend it back, touching underneath that chair. If you're seated, I'm gonna rest my hands in front of my chest, but you can also have them on your hips. Whoo! Focus forward, stay tall. Switch it up, other side. So now we're going to extend that right leg back or touch that toe underneath the chair. But from seated, Jill is focusing on that one leg being her support, and she's using her arms raised, again, to just work on that balance a little bit more. For 3, 2, and 1. Good. So you should feel that those muscles have been activated, they're working, they're a little bit warmer, and we are going to get started, get right into that workout. So let's start with exercise number 1. Squats. Yes, everybody's favorite, right? Perfect, wonderful lower body exercise, helps strengthen those glutes, get that lower body working. So feet are shoulder width apart from standing, head and chest up. I'm going to push my butt back, making sure my knees stay behind my toes, coming down into squat, and then driving the weight into my heels as I come up nice and tall. Jill is going to be lifting one knee up at a time, extending that leg, bringing that knee back in and foot back down. So knee up, extend, knee back in, foot back down. One leg at a time. All right, here we go. So we are doing 40 seconds of work with a 20-second active rest. Let's do this. Squats and go. Now for intensity, you're gonna hold that squat a little longer, going a little bit deeper. For less intensity, not as deep, and not holding as long. So Jill can do the same from seated. She can lift up that knee a little higher, holding a little bit longer, which is gonna add just a little bit more intensity. So again, a little more intense. I'm gonna hold it just a little bit longer before I come up and drive my weight into my heels. Whoo, we're at exercise number 1 and I'm already feeling the burn. Come on. Last one, good job. Shake it out. You are on a 20-second rest. I'm gonna explain exercise number 2, side squat. So feet are together. I'm going to step out into a squat, come back up, bring the feet together. Step out into squat, come back up, feet together. So basically going side to side. So Jill is going to be tapping her leg out to the side, coming back, tapping her other leg out to the side, coming back, then adding a glute squeeze. All right, we ready? 40 seconds of work, begin. Side squat, then back up to standing. Side tap from seated on both legs, then adding that little glute squeeze at the end. Still focus forward, keep that head and chest up. And Jill's making sure she's sitting up nice and tall so she's not hinging forward or leaning back in her chair. 5 seconds of work. 3, 2, last one. Good job. All right, number 2 done. So here we go. Number 3, moving into an alternating reverse lunge. So I'm gonna start with my feet together, bring my shoulders down away from my ears, step back into that reverse lunge, having that knee at a 90-degree angle down towards the floor, coming up back to standing, and alternating. So Jill is going to actually extend her leg, both legs, a little bit of a bend in the knee. She's gonna have her hands on the side of her chair and lift one leg at a time, just slightly, not too high. She's activating her quads and activating her glutes. All right, beautiful posture. 40 seconds of work, let's begin. Reverse lunge, alternating. Hands can be resting on your hips from standing, resting in front of your chest, wherever you feel comfortable. Jill has both her legs extended and she is slowly lifting one leg at a time, just a little bit off the floor, keeping her hands on the chair for support. Woo. Check that leg in that reverse lunge. Make sure the knee staying lined up with the ankle and behind the toes. Last one. Whew. Okay, jump squats. So just a little bit of lower body cardio, we're throwing it in there. So from seated, Jill is going to hinge forward just a touch, being aware of her lower back, hinge forward slightly, come back up to seated, drive her knee nice and high up towards her chest, then repeat. Hinge forward, back up to seated, knee drive, nice and high. She can add high arms or a high reach for more intensity. Jump squats, feet are shoulder width apart here, sinking back into my heels, using power lifting myself up off the floor into that jump. Less intensity, lifting the heels, no bounce. 40 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. Go. Some more intensity from standing. I can add arms as well. Less intense, just lifting the heels, taking that jump out. Whoo! Landing nice and soft. So Jill is hinging forward, and as she comes back up, that knee is coming nice and high in that seated exercise. Whew. Definitely burned. I'm gonna switch to lifting the heels for 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right, we're 4 exercises in. My legs are warm. Whew. Nice job, get a drink, take a little break if you need to, but we are moving on to exercise number 5. As you're on your break, I'm gonna be demonstrating your next exercise. So squat with a pulse. Did you plan this? More squats? Seriously? Squats with a pulse. Okay, feet shoulder width apart. Sink down, right? This time, I want you to go deep into that squat and hold for 5 seconds. Jill is gonna sit up nice and tall. She's gonna bring that knee up and hold for 5 seconds, activating those glutes, activating that quad muscle, and she's going to alternate every time. We are gonna hold for those standing. Come up anytime you need to, your pace, right? Okay, let's do it. Squats with a 5-second hold, 40 seconds of work. Begin. And up, good. Now, I am not going to count your 5 because you might be counting a little bit faster, a little bit slower, or want to come up a little quicker, right? But about 5 seconds holding in that squat and just small pulses. Jill is lifting that knee and holding, staying up nice and tall. Definite burn here. Creating some warmth in this room, I'm telling you. Woo! Knees behind those toes. Last one. Come on, we've got this. 5 seconds. Hold it. Feel that burn right at the end. 3, 2, 1. Woo! All right. Curtsy squat. On to the next exercise, number 6. So we are going to step behind the other leg, going just beyond, sinking down so that the weight is going into our glute, head and chest up, coming back up to standing, then stepping behind with the other leg, and again, head and chest up. From seated, Jill is going to knee up, extend the leg, and then swing that leg open. Knee bent, foot coming back down. When you're swinging that leg open from seated, listening to your hips. If you're tight, you don't have to go as far. She's gonna be alternating and I'm gonna be alternating. 40 seconds of work, curtsy squats. Let's do this. Begin. And step behind. For those that are standing, we're coming back up each time. Giving a little hold as you go down into that curtsy squat. That seated exercise, knee up, extend the leg, and then slowly swing that leg open to the side. Whew. Keep breathing, don't hold that breath. You have 5 seconds of work, you've got this. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Jill, how you feeling? Good. All right. So next one, lucky number 7, open leg lunges. So open leg side lunges. So feet are a little wider than shoulder width apart. We're going to shift from side to side. So the side that you're leaning towards, you're going to bend that knee, push that butt back into the heel, head and chest up, hips low, back up to standing. Alternate to the other side. Jill is going to extend her leg on a bit of an angle here. She's going to rest into her heel and then hinge forward to that side. So the leg is not straight, but out at an angle, extended. Then she's going to alternate, extend at an angle, hinge at her hips, feeling that work in that hamstring. All right, you ready? Let's do it. Open leg side lunges. Coming back up to center each time. As Jill is extending that leg on an angle, she's resting in the heel and just hinging at the hips. From standing, we're trying to get those hips as low as we can as we go into that side lunge. Head and chest stay up. Feet, both feet pointing forward from standing position. Whew. Hold on. Side to side, Jill is alternating legs. 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Okay, we're getting it done today. Number 8, squat to front kick. So back to that squat stance. So I'm gonna start with my feet shoulder width apart, and we're actually going to describe Jill in seated. She is going to bring her knee up and then have that leg come into a kick. So knee up, extend into a kick, back in and down. So she's not doing an extension like she was with the seated squat, but knee up, kick it forward, back in and down. So it's a little bit of a quicker movement. She's hinging slightly forward. You can add some arms in there as well if you want. All right, let's do this, and I'm gonna go into squat kicks for 40 seconds. Begin. Sinking down into my squat, coming up, adding a kick. With that kick, always keeping just a bit of a bend in that knee as you're extending that leg forward. And I'm thinking about kicking it with my heel. So all that weight in that kick is coming from my heel. Whew. A little bit more intensity. You can add some speed, add some depth to that squat. And if you want, you could definitely add some arms as well. 3, 2, and last one. Good job. All right, we have 3 more exercises to go. You got this, stay with me. Number 9, squat with a leg raise. Back to my stance again. Feet are shoulder width apart, and I am going to come down into squat. And as I come up, I'm going to lift my leg to the side. Not coming up too high, listening to your hips. My foot is staying flexed, but really feeling that activation in those glutes. So Jill is going to extend both of her legs, keep a slight bend in her knees, so she might have to move forward in her chair just a touch, and then she's going to squeeze that butt or those glutes, and afterwards she's going to tap that leg to the side and come back. So she's keeping those legs extended, and after she squeezes the glutes, tapping the leg to the side and then coming back so that the feet are close together. All right, let's do this. We have 40 seconds of work. Glutes with that side raise. Glutes with the side raise, squats with a side raise. You know what I mean. All right, let's do it. And up and lift. Check that posture for that seated exercise. Just check that as you squat, the weight is going into your heels, knees are behind the toes. And for intensity, we can go deeper into that squat before we come up into that leg raise. We have 3 seconds. 2, and last one. Good job. Okay, we're getting near the end. 2 left. We're doing a lunge pulse, and we're gonna be working on both sides. So I'm gonna start with our seated exercise. Jill is going to take her left leg back and tap her toe just underneath her chair. The further she goes back, it's gonna be a little bit more intense, right? Then she's going to come back and tap her toe beside her dominant foot that's standing. So tap underneath her chair and then come back. Now, if she wants, again, a little bit further back, creating a little bit more intensity. For those that are standing, we are going to start with our right leg forward and our left leg back, coming into that lunge. That knee is at a 90-degree angle, but what I want you to do is just pulse up and down. not pushing forward. So no escalator, but an elevator. That means that we're up and down, not pushing forward. We have 40 seconds. Are you ready, Jill? So Jill is going to be tapping back underneath that chair. I'm pulsing. Let's do this. 40 seconds. Hands can be resting in front of your chest, resting on your hips. Jill is using her chair for support, so her hands are on the side of her chair. And if Jill wants to create, again, even more intensity, she can make those movements a little longer. So she's slowing that down, that movement as she's going underneath the chair. Whoo! Lots of burn here. Last few seconds, hang in, you've got this for 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Whew. We're gonna switch to the other side, the other leg, then you are done. So we're gonna now step that right leg back into that lunge. Jill is gonna be stepping underneath her chair, again, going back further for more intensity. And again, for less intensity from standing, you can come up a little bit. You don't have to hold it for as long, right? Your pace. Let's do this, 40 seconds. Again, remember that elevator, so up and down with those pulses. Don't push forward on that knee. More intensity with that seated exercise. Jill can go back further underneath her chair and hold it a little longer. I think my legs are gonna catch fire soon. Woo! Come on, right at the end. This is the last exercise. You've got this. Stay with me. Pulse it out for 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Whew. Officially warm, officially done. Excellent job. Thanks so much for joining us today for our lower body strength and balance workout. Hope you can come back again soon. Don't forget to pick a cool down and a stretch when you're done. Have a great day.
Ability Center's Strength and Balance.